Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Simply Toriana, and welcome to Simply Toriana. I'm sorry that my voice is so freaking deep because it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and I usually wake up like this. And I had this video on my mind, and for some reason, God is kind of telling me just to do it. So I got up as soon as I could, and ain't nobody really awake. So I wanted like a quiet atmosphere. So I wanted to like record this video in peace. Sorry that I just forgot about y'all and just trying to figure myself out every single day. Like I'm just trying to figure out what do I want to do with myself, whether I want to do YouTube, whether I don't want to do YouTube, whether I want to work a job, whether I don't want to work a job, whether I want to go to school, whether I don't want to go to school. So I'm just trying to figure things out. But God had this video heavy on my heart today, and I'm sorry I look a hot mess. Like I look crazy. I got on this old shirt. My hair is really not looking that good. It's kind of got poofy. My face, I'm looking really dusty, and I'm sorry. But I just want to tell y'all a story. Okay, y'all. So they're in there doing something. So if y'all hear anything, I'm sorry. In this game, I didn't even realize it was on. A recent story time that just happened to me that really affected my life that I want to get off my chest. And I feel like YouTube is the perfect place to tell. Y'all please just give me some tips and advice on how to deal with this. If you ever dealt with this, just tell me. But I'm going to tell y'all my story about how my first love, the only boyfriend I ever had, passed away. And how I'm dealing with it, and just everything. So if you like this video, please like this video for him and for me. He's literally up here. I'll show y'all the pictures later. But I'm just gonna tell y'all a story. So I don't even know where to start. So a week before he died, I seen him. Like we actually met up at a park. And I'm sorry if I cry. I'm sorry if I cry during this whole video. I'm sorry. But we met up at a park. Literally the week before he died, maybe a few days before he died. I can't really remember. But we met up at a park and we walked the trail. So I remember I was telling him, I like to walk, and I wanted him to walk with me. And he actually came. And he actually said he would, which I'm so happy that he did. But we had walked that trail. We had talked. He smoked, and we walked that trail. We walked the trail. We talked about how if we were gonna get back together, whether he was gonna stay down here in town or was he gonna go to Jackson with his brother. And we was just talking and playing and walking. And I remember walking down to see the water and throwing rocks. That was the last time I seen him in person. Literally the last time I seen him in person. We had a good time. I'm glad we didn't argue, because we could have. Because every time we get around each other, like we seem to argue. But we didn't argue. He did lie to me. I realized that he had lied to me. 1 second. So the last week that I had seen him, we went to the park. We had a good time. We talked about how we would possibly get back together. And then I realized, like, now he had lied to me. Anyways, the last day that I saw him, we had went to the park, walked, said our goodbyes. I gave him a good hug. We even kissed. We wasn't supposed to, but we even kissed each other. And I hugged him for the very last time. And I'm so glad that I did, because I usually, most of the time, I'm mean and I'm like, no, you can't no hug from me until you get right. But I was being nice and I hugged him and I kissed him. And I'm so grateful that I did, because I didn't know it was going to be the last time I seen him. And maybe a few days or a week prior to that, I'm asleep. I get a phone call from my mama, and she's like, what did she say? She's like, Toriana, call Thomas. I'm like, why? She's like, call him because I see his car and it's surrounded by police and tape. In my mind, I was thinking, I'm gonna tell you what I was thinking, but she was like, just call Thomas. So I call him. He didn't answer the phone. And then she was like, call his mama. Tell her that I think this is her car out here and she needs to get out here. She needs to come see if this is her son or not. And I was like, just show me the car. Like, we was on FaceTime. I was like, just show me the car. Show me, like, turn your camera around and show me the car so I can validate whether that's his car or not, or that's him. And she was walking down the street trying to hurry up and get to the scene. And come to find out, it was his car. He had a distinct, like, police car, a white police car that had, like, the trunk was messed up. Like, on his car, the trunk was messed up, and you could tell it was his car just from him messing it up, because he had to pop it open one day, and it completely messed up. So I was like, let me just see the back of the car, let me see the trunk, because I'll know whether that's his or not. And come to find out, it was his. And I call his mama, and I'm not gonna say his mama name, but I'm like, you need to get down here, or mama said that she might know she might see Thomas' car out there, and we don't know what's going on. Like, why we see his car out there with tape and police around? So his mama, she's praying on the phone. She's like, please just make sure it's not him. Make sure it's not him. Make sure, if it is him, make sure it's him. And I was like, that's him. That's his car. You need to come. And she told me the address, and we all went down there. And we was just like, I was shocked. I was really shocked. Like, at first I was like, just calm down. I told my mama, I was just like, calm down. It ain't that serious. Why are you crying? Why are you doing all this? Only because in my mind, I was thinking, like, because he had been running from the police. I'm thinking he got caught. Maybe he got caught. Maybe he got in trouble. Maybe he finna go to jail. So I was just like, don't be crying, because he'll be all right. Like, literally, he'll be all right. He's never got in trouble. He'll be all right. And at the time, I didn't realize, like, when they got tape around a car or around a scene, somebody's either hurt or they're dead. They're either hurt or they're dead. And at the time, I didn't know what was going on. I just thought he was in trouble. Like, he had been taken into custody in some handcuffs. And at first, I was just like, what's going on? I literally did not know what's going on. And when we got there, the police did not want to tell us anything. Like, they didn't tell us anything. All they said is, we got 2 bodies. I'm like, 2 bodies? They got 2 people in custody? And I was like, I hope they don't mean no dead bodies. They can't mean dead bodies. They cannot mean dead bodies. And I don't know. I was just confused about everything. I literally was confused. And his mama was on the ground praying. Like, she was praying as if something really bad might have happened. And I was like, maybe something did happen. I'm sorry that the dog's barking. But I'm like, maybe something did happen. And We're all asking questions. His mama, me, my sister. I mean, his sister. We're all just asking questions like, "What happened? Who's in the car? Do you have his ID? Like, who is it? Like, we'll know who it is." And they was like, and his sister was like, "Did he have dreads?" And oh my God, Stormy. Okay, so I don't even know where I was in my story because I got interrupted by that dog. But I just want to say, like, I remember his mama praying on the ground, and she's like praying to God. I don't know if she was crying, but she was praying, and I'm confused. I'm like, why is she on the ground? Maybe he's just in jail, and it's okay. But come to find out, all of that meant that, I mean, come to find out, the officer was like, we got two bodies, and at first they was like, one of them is deceased. One of them's deceased. I was like, which one? And he was like, the driver is. And I'm like, I just, like, my eyes got really big. And I'm like, what? And then his sister was like, did he have dreads? And then he was like, yeah, but we're not able to ID him. He don't have no ID on him, and we don't know, we can't tell you who he is. And she was like, well, if you would just, I don't even know, but they was just trying to figure out if it was him or not, and come to find out it was him. And they were like, one of them deceased, and they had put both of them in the ambulance. I might cry, but they had put their bodies in the ambulance. And at the time, I'm like, oh my God, like, one of them's dead and one of them's alive. Like, that can't be right. What happened? And I wonder how, like, what made them think that one of them was alive with the way that he was killed? Why did they think he was alive? Maybe he was still breathing or something. But actually, it had been two. Like, both of them, it was him and his friend. They both had died that day. And I just hated for his friend because I didn't know that dude like that. And he never deserved that. Neither one of them did. But he wasn't even from here. And he dies in such a terrible place. Like, I hate living here. And he has to die here and he's not even from here. Like, that is just like, yeah, we got two bodies. And they put them in the ambulance. And they took his car. I remember them watching them take his car. And that was the day of, and I had immediately after that, I went to the hospital. I don't know why I did that, because Corona, obviously, like, I won't be able to get in, even if they would have put them in there. Like, I don't know. And I wouldn't have been able to see him, at least for his last time that he was dead or whatever. So I went to the hospital crying in shambles. I was crying so badly. I'm like, we need to get to the hospital to see him. Not knowing that I can't even come in because of Corona, and two, he's dead. Like, what am I supposed to go see? I'm thinking he's going to be alive. Am I thinking he's going to be all right? Of course not. He's not going to be all right. And so I went to the hospital, sat there for a minute, and then I realized, like, Mama was telling me, like, there's no reason for you to stay here because there's nothing you can do. There's no reason for you to be here. So I went back home, and I had went to actually his house. I went to his mama's house, and I just cried, like, cried. And everybody in the room was just sitting there. They were just sitting there. I didn't even see them cry. Maybe a few, but I cried the most out of all the people that was in there. And I just cried and cried and cried, and I'm asking God, why, what happened, who did it. Yeah. Come to find out, I didn't even tell y'all that, but come to find out he was actually shot and killed. And I still don't know why. I don't know who did it. I don't know why, because he's such a good person. He didn't really have enemies like that. And if he did, I didn't know of any. And for me to be his girlfriend for so long, like, I didn't know anybody that would want to hurt him in such a way. I didn't know anyone that would want to hurt him or kill him at that. So I'm just asking God, like, why? And I'm crying and I'm just confused. Because, like I told y'all, a week before that, I had just seen him. He was very much alive. He was very much talking and being a butthole like he always is. Sorry. He was very much being himself like he always is. Um, and literally that day, like, I was supposed to go sign up for school, like sign up to start school and get enrolled in school, and I had to reschedule. And it hurt me to have to do that because I was so excited for this day to come to find out that he was gonna die on that day. And I still don't know why. I still don't understand, like, why would somebody do that to him? What did he do? I went to his family's house. I sat there for most of the time, talked to the police even, and I even saw like a glimpse of the pictures of like him dead, and it still scars me. I still don't understand. Like, I don't understand. And that was really pretty much it. Like, in the first few days that I had found out, like, I couldn't eat. All I did was cry. All I did was just cry. Like, I cried, went back to sleep, got up, cried again. I could not eat. Like, I didn't eat anything that day. I didn't eat anything. And it's been about 8 days so far. I've been counting, and it's just not gotten any better. Like, it's just not gotten any better. I cry every day about it. And I still wish he was here. Like, I feel like he did not deserve this at all. And I just wish he was still here. I wish it never happened. And I just ask myself a lot. And I'm like, I just wish I could have. I wish I could have prevented it in some way. Like, I wish I could have told him to come to my house and come see me. He would have came and he wouldn't even been out there. Or if I would have told him to come lay in the bed with me tonight, he would have came and he wouldn't even been there. Or if I would have called him and talked to him and literally, like, y'all, that night he told me that he loved me. He told me that he loved me and I did not say it back. And I feel so terrible about that. It's almost like he knew he was gonna die. And he just wanted to tell me he loved me. I still, like, I'm just wish it never happened. I wish I could just saved him. I wish I could have saved him. He would still be here. He would still talk to me every day. I feel like I don't know. I just feel like I could have done something. I know it's not my fault. And I know I can't go back and change nothing. But I just wish I could have done something to where he wouldn't have even been out there. and maybe he would have stayed home. But yeah, like, we had talked to the police and they were asking questions. We were asking questions. And even though we weren't like together, like in a relationship together at the time that he died, he still loved me and I still loved him, and we still communicated every single day, just as being friends. And I appreciate him for that, because he could have just cut me off. He could have just left me alone. But because I was kind of mean to him. I was kind of mean to him, and he could have just cut me off and quit talking to me. He could have just not came to the park that day. But he did. He continued to talk to me every single day. So I appreciate him for that, because I need somebody to talk to. But I just don't understand. I don't understand why this happened. I don't know what he could have done for somebody to want to hurt him. He didn't even have enemies like that. He had more friends than he had enemies. And I truly don't understand. I wish I could just bring him back, because I don't know, he was my person. But back to the story. Basically, we just found out that he did actually die, and I did see a few pictures of him while he was dead. Because the police, they wasn't good at hiding it. Like, literally, you could see it. And I saw pictures of that, and it's still in my mind. I can't let go of it. And we had found out he actually did pass. And I just remember going home crying, sitting on my couch crying nonstop. My family, they were there for me as much as they could have been. I cried for at least 2 days straight. At least 2 days. The third day, I somewhat got back on my feet and I realized like he's gone. But then I cried because I felt like I could have done something. I felt like I could have just, I just wish I would have done something. I wish I would have done something. I don't know what I could have done, but I wish I could have done something to just just to prevent this even happening. And we still don't know who did it. I know the devil pretty much did it, but we don't know who pulled that trigger. And I don't understand. I had like those days, that the few days after he had died, I could not eat, I could not sleep. It was so hurtful, and my chest was hurting real bad. Like, my heart really broke. I don't know if anybody's ever went through a heartbreak where literally like you feel like your heart is like split into 2 pieces. Literally, my chest was hurting so badly because my heart was broken, and I was confused, and I still don't understand why. So yeah, and then after that, after the crying and confusion, I just went to his family's house and we just talked, and we were just trying to figure out things when it come to the funeral, things when it come to who did this, just talk. Like, I just sat down there and I talked to them. And and y'all, see, I didn't want to say nothing about this, but I'm just trying to understand, and I want closure. But I also have found out that he was cheating on me after he died. And my heart and mind can't get past that because I trusted him so much. And I really invested my heart and time and effort into him and just trying to keep him on my side. Even though we weren't together, I was just trying to make sure that he know I loved him and that I would never be this way if I didn't want to be with him. And I think he just did not appreciate me enough. And it really hurts. Like, it just hurts that I can't get the closure that I deserve. I have to somewhat suffer. Like, I have to suffer with the fact that he did this to me. I found out he was lying a whole lot to me. And I just feel like I feel stupid. I feel stupid. Like, I'm embarrassed. But I have to understand that I can't say nothing to him. I will never get the answers that I want. I have to suffer. And I have to keep thinking about it. And I have to keep asking myself, you know, what's the next move? What do I do now? Because I loved him. I loved him. There was no other man that I had loved but him. So, my heart is truly broken. And I wish I could just talk to him again. And just figure out why, you know. But I have to sit here and cry and cry and just sit. And I don't like that. But I know it's not his fault that he died. But I just miss him so much, and I wish I could have done something to just save him. But once again, I realized, like, there was so many times that I did save him and not save myself. And I just feel like there's nothing else you can do, Toriana. You saved him a lot of times while he was alive. Saved him. I did. Like, I trusted him and I did things I shouldn't have done out of love while he was alive. So now that he's gone, like, I have to give it up. I have to just understand that you can't save him no more. And that God has him. And yeah, I put him before myself a lot while I was with him. And that's one reason why we broke up, because I just got tired of putting him before me and my own happiness. Instead, I just took myself and removed myself from him. And of course, I was still attached to him because he was my first boyfriend and I loved him. But I had to remove myself for myself. And I had to love myself first. And I had to just see that. And I really tried to help him get better. I really did. I tried to I gave him so many tools and so many words to just tell him, you know, you need to do right or I'm not going to be with you. And I guess he just took that and ran with it and said, you know, I don't care. I guess he was like, I don't care if you don't be with me. And I just wish, like, I wish I wouldn't have broke up with him, because maybe he would still be alive if I hadn't done that, because we had spent a lot of time together while we was together. And then once I broke up with him, it's like he just went and did his own thing, and there were days where I didn't even know where he was, and I didn't call him. So I wish, like, maybe if I would have stayed with him, even though I wasn't happy, if I would have stayed with him, he would still be alive, you know? And I know that's a bad thing to say, but if I would have just sucked it up and just tried to help him as a girlfriend, maybe he would still be here. And I hate crying on this camera. But I just, like, I don't know. I wish I could have done something. But that's pretty much my story. We just had his funeral yesterday. I didn't even cry as much as I thought I would, because I think I'm more hurt on the inside than I am to show it on the outside in front of everybody, and just seeing what I saw, like, I couldn't cry. I just stayed strong, and I just realized, like, he wouldn't want nobody to cry. He really wouldn't. So I didn't cry. But truly, truly, I am hurt. I love him. I always loved him. I'm just glad, like, I don't have to worry about him no more. But y'all, that was pretty much my story. I'm gonna now read the letter that I wrote to him. I don't know how I'm gonna give it to him, or if I will, or I'll just keep it in my notebook. But I had wrote a letter, I think it was the day he died, or either the day after. I had wrote a letter to him, and I want to read it and put it on YouTube just to remember it, and it'll always be there. So, want to listen, y'all can. If y'all don't, you can click off. Just make sure that y'all subscribe for me. I won't be doing another video like this crying. So, yeah. Let me just start off by saying I'm not this soft, okay? I'm really just confused, honestly, and I'm just trying to just do stuff to make me feel better. So, yeah. I titled it as Letter to My Love. So, just listen. I'm going to just say his name, Thomas, as Thomas, but I really put his whole name on there. Thomas, my love. Was that a sign? Okay. Thomas, my love. I can't even believe I'm writing this, planning your funeral, or making t-shirts with your face on it. This was supposed to be our year, although we were not technically together before you passed. You still remained my friend. You stayed in contact with me every day, was there to bring me my every need. I still remember the first day you came over to my house and walked from the YMCA, or when you used to pick me up from work. I know they say God makes no mistakes, but I just feel like in my heart it wasn't your time. The devil blindsided you because he knew you were strong enough to fight back. I wish I could have done something to save you. Sometimes I even feel like I wish I was in that car with you. I wanted to have your first child because I have nothing left of you. I pray for you. I pray for your safety. And this happens. My face went completely down. I asked myself, how will I move on? How will I find someone who loves me just as much as you did? Neither of us were ever perfect, but our love never faded. I keep replaying our memories in my head and cry. Although my heart is broken, I am happy for you. You got to meet your creator. At least I hope you did. I appreciate every moment I had with you. I am so sorry this happened to you, and I hope you can be right beside me and see me grow. I'm still lost for words, but I love you. That was pretty much it. And I just want to thank y'all for watching this video and subscribe. And I'm sorry I'm looking very much ugly, but I just want to thank y'all for watching this video, and just keep me in your prayers. Peace. See y'all.